Roach, it's difficult to believe that the President of the United States can be so ignorant about the effects of such an action that it's almost like you cannot believe it.
There are mayors across the country that are opposing President Trump's decision, announced last week, that would take the United States out of the Paris Accord signed in 2015.
We're going to cancel the Paris Climate Agreement.
Now, mayors across the country have signed on and said they're going to oppose the pact, and one of the cities is White Plains, just north of New York, population 55,000, Mayor Tom Roach.
I don't think that we are trying as much as we should. We are kind of starting some projects here and there, but it's not a priority.
I went to White Plains on Monday and met Councilwoman Milagros Lecuona. She's a professional urban planner and heads the Sustainability Committee in White Plains. She took me on a tour Monday of what she says are the purely cosmetic ways that Mayor Roach's administration has tried to transform White Plains, including charging stations and bike lanes.
Look, this is the bike lane. This is in the middle of traffic.
Ironies abound in White Plains. There's a community garden, but it's only accessible by car. There's a capped landfill that would be ideal for a solar panel farm that Lecuona says could save the residents 10% on their utility bills, but the project is stalled. Goats eat the poison ivy in the park, but Lecuona said the council isn't quite sure where the goats came from. If he's turning over this park and putting the goats in there to manage it, why not tell the council?
I don't know. That's why I'm running for mayor.
Lecuona is challenging the mayor, fellow Democrat, in the Democratic primary in September. Now, the mayor told me that he defends what's being done and attacked his rival, saying she hasn't sponsored any legislation to make White Plains greener. But is it unrealistic to expect one small city to reduce its emissions by a quarter? Lecuona says yes, but they have to try, and it starts with the people.
We are expecting the big change in big corporations in the city doing this and that, but the resident can also be educated so that things are being done at all levels.
Tell me about the bike lanes going off into nowhere.
The bike lanes don't seem, from what I saw, to necessarily be connected to one another. There are some that go one way on this one-way street and others don't connect. The councilwoman is basically saying that you need a plan to do all this stuff, and she's criticizing the mayor for not having a comprehensive plan.
It sounds like much more of a political statement, kind of like Phil Murphy is running anti-Trump. You know, that doesn't do anything to make New Jersey more affordable, but it's a nice soundbite and it kind of gets them out there.
There are some echoes of what's happening in White Plains in New York City, because I feel like Mayor de Blasio is trying to make New York City a green city, but it's really not. It's the concrete jungle.
I know.
And every time you have bikes going all over the place, and you got the pedestrians, and you have the cars, it's a complete disaster. I've done stories about people getting hit by bikes or people getting hit by cars. And it's just unfortunate that people don't realize that, yeah, it's great to be green, but let's be realistic. And I think that's what President Trump was trying to do with the Paris Accord. Love him or hate him, he was trying to make us more realistic.
It is not easy being green, Sabile.